Hello everybody, Average Gamer here. Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. So, you're watching a time lapse. So in this time lapse, a couple of things have happened. Number one, I've turned off the ore input. So as of now, we are currently running and only running on internal production, meaning that we're running on basically just the ore, or just the ingots. So your iron ingots, steel ingots, etc., etc. There is currently some ore in the system, and I've realized that I think I need to do this multiple ways over time, especially since I'm still only running the Mark III belts, and they don't have the bandwidth basically to do what I need them to do. Pretty much, I'm in the position right now where, how do I put this? Everything coming into the factory has stopped. The factory itself is now just producing on what it has. And then my plan is, as time progresses, reintroduce all the raw ores again, kind of rebuild up those ore buffers, and then start up production again. And I think that's how I'm going to do this factory for a little while until I get to the highest end aluminum Mark 5 or 6 belts. Because till then, I'm going to have basically just this issue with backlog until I can get things through the system a lot faster. Obviously, it'll also cause maybe a 3 times increase in what you're seeing here. Just because to do aluminum is, I think it's a 5-step process, maybe a 4-step process. But yeah, so what I wanted to do is talk today about what my plans are for the next little bit. So step 1, I need to unlock the next tier of space elevator. Because everything's unlocked as of the moment. I need to unlock the next level of the next tier of space elevator to then unlock the next stage of belts. Once those are done, there'll probably be a slight rebuild, just a reconfiguring of the primary line. The main purpose for that is pretty simple. With the better lines, things will be going faster. I theoretically won't need as many machines. Like, I'll only need 2 machines per ore, for example. 2 iron, 2 steel, 2 copper, 2 cadmium? Caterium. Theoretically. Not 100% sure on that. I'm going to have to figure that out and do the math. But that's the theory behind the idea. I'm hoping long term or short term. Basically, this is just a growth. The basics are here, and now it's just a matter of every time I hit the next tier and the next marker, add another machine, tweak a little bit of the machines we have, and get things done, get them set up. Now I can see, if you look on the right, we're now running into gaps in our production. That's a good thing. That means our further end stuff is actually starting to be produced, which in my eyes is really good. Once I started seeing those gaps, that told me higher end stuff is being made. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I think I let this run for a little while, and I'm only going to be doing like a 5 or 6 minute video. But yeah, so stage 1 is going to be just let this thing grind out and produce the raw goods that we need to then unlock the next stage of elevator. Then the plan will be to turn off the entire factory temporarily, figure out where we sit, what we need to produce, how much we need to produce of all that stuff, and then make sure that we have the appropriate machines set up, whether it's a new machine to be set up to produce another good or a modification of existing machines, just have the lines run. I think the first thing that will be upgraded will 100% be the lines. Possibly the order might be modified a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to keep this reverse snake thing going, where it's basically going to be basically the letter S. I'm hoping it doesn't get to that point, but it's a possibility. It's something that could and might just happen. Will it actually get to that point? I don't know. At some point I will keep reintegrating ore, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave ore possibly as its own factory. So the theory is maybe to have 3 factories. The first factory will be associated with aluminum and oil production. So aluminum byproducts, so you get your plastics and things like that. Plastics, rubber, and aluminum will be produced at one factory, just the base, and then they'll be shipped to this factory. The main factory will produce everything else except for ores. Ores, that excludes obviously uranium and limestone, will be produced at another location. So one factory will specifically just do copper, iron, caterium, and steel ores. It will just be pumping those out, creating the ore, and just shipping the ore to this primary facility. Whether it be in 3 or 4 different belts, or 2 belts, what have you. Either way, the plan will be 3 different factories. One that produces the raw good, second factory which will produce the secondary good, the tertiary good, and then the final good, theoretically, whatever the higher end good is. So basically we'll have mostly all constructors, the simulators, the big manufacturers in that secondary facility, no smelters. And the other one will be the refineries and things like that, refining oil into rubbers and plastics, and using I think it's one of the residues with aluminum, or with bauxite to create aluminum. Another part, what I'm going to have to do, and I'm going to have to do that one of these days, is to fix all the lines. I don't know whether I'm going to use, theoretically I could use trains. I'm a little skeptic about their impact on, I can see coal now running along the bottom there. Interesting. And some ores. But anyways, I could see some issues with long-term wise. Frame rate issues with trucks and trains. Trucks specifically, because the way they spawn and despawn, they're messed up is what they are. How some of them just end up in the wrong area of the map, under the map, on top of the map, flying in the sky for no apparent reason, warping hundreds of meters at a time for no apparent reason. So them I'm gonna kind of not think too much for them when it comes to that. But yeah, so I might use trains, even though they impact frame rate quite a bit. I know they've been doing some work on performance in the game, so it's a good way to maybe test that, see if the performance is good. But other than that, to be 100% honest with you, I think it's going to be belts all over the world. However many belts I'm going to need to run a full factory, I don't know. Especially when I get to the tier 5 stuff and I get to this level of stuff, I honestly don't know whether it's going to be, like, if I keep things sequestered, it should work a lot better, and then fire things over, that'll work a lot better. Probably in the next video, what I'm going to do is show you guys another theoretical project, or a prototype for what the theory will be behind having the multiple factories, like 3 factories in general. The primary factory with all the assemblers, manufacturers, and stuff like that. The secondary factory that produces oil-based products, so your rubbers and all that stuff. And then the tertiary factory that processes your ores. That'll be in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.